let's talk about the conversation this morning, the political turntables and where we find ourselves as a country. Many would say that during the campaign periods, we get promises. Promises, we will do this, we will do that. We would ensure that Mimi Sitasumbua, my deputy, we get into power and we see a deputy and the president not doing well. We have promises given to Kenyans as well, and Kenyans are saying, we were given promises, but nothing much is being done, or little is being done. We look at where State House is, a body that many would say is supposed to bring the country together. Many today are saying, kidogo, it is not doing that. Based off that, I start with you, Mheshimiwa. What goes wrong that the political class seem to be speaking a different language once they get to power?
That's a very important question. Again, we need to go back to the making of the nation state of the Republic of Kenya. Mm-hmm. There are certain historical facts that people don't accept. Mm-hmm. The historical fact is, after the scramble for Africa, the making of the nation state of the Republic of Kenya, actually, there's something I call, a new phenomenon that I call biological nationalism. Mm-hmm. It's a collection of communities. Before we got our independence, mm-hmm. Look at the history. First step, Kenya was owned by a British, basically commercial company, the British East African Company. And then later on, we became a protectorate, mm-hmm. We became a colony, we became internally, ruling country, and then later on we got our independence. All this brought together different, brought about the different facets of the Republic of Kenya. One is tribal, the other one is regional, the other one is the groups that I call the Petit bourgeoisie, mm-hmm. a class, the sons and daughters of the colonial chiefs, because you remember the British also applied indirect rule.
Yes.
Now all these created different interests. These different interests are competing, are clashing, all of them camouflaged as, under this broad framework called democracy. Mm-hmm. So if you look at, we have region called the Western, call it the Western, former Western
Former
province.
Western province, yeah.
Call it the former Nyanza province, mm-hmm. Northern Kenya province. All this, if you look at it critically, all the regions were based on tribal, mm-hmm. or community interest. And that's what some of the things that we have, broadly speaking, cautioned as and put them as part of our governance platform. So individuals will come, mm-hmm. project themselves using democratic platforms, but deep inside them, what lingers is the tribal interest, the regional interest. That is why we are still lacking, we are still struggling to have a defined, one acceptable Kenyan culture. We are still struggling, and look at it critically. And that's why, since the advent of multipartyism, there are no two general elections with similar characteristics. 1991, 1992 is different from 1997. Mm-hmm. 1997 is completely different from 2002.
But Mheshimiwa, let me bring in Canon, right?
Yes.
I hear you when you say that we have all these competing interests